Hello everyone, welcome to Business Talks with Deniz. I'm Deniz Bahar, and today we will be talking about non-profit organizations from the management and leadership perspective. And I'm pleased to have Pam Reidenbach, Director of Northern Illinois Center for Nonprofit Excellence. So first of all, welcome to Business Talks with Deniz. Let me explain basically what does nonprofit means, and the role of nonprofit is today's reality is far-reaching that just being a source of employment and enhancing countries' economies. And nonprofit organizations play an integral role in bettering the world around us and making the lives of millions of people around the global more sustainable. The major purpose of not-for-profit organizations is to provide public services that addresses various type of needs to the communities. So, Pam Reidenbach, to better understand the mechanism of non-profit sector and to further explore the nature of it, let me ask you my first questions. What are the differences between non-profits and for-profit organizations?
Okay, great question. Um, Nonprofit organizations are corporations,
Mm-hmm.
like businesses, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The difference is that within the IRS, they have a 501c3. Most nonprofits are 501c3. That's a section of the tax code
Mm-hmm.
which allows them to be tax exempt. But the big difference between nonprofits and for-profit businesses is that any profit and all profit that's generated in a nonprofit goes back into the mission work. It doesn't get distributed to shareholders like it does in a for-profit corporation. Also, another major difference is in nonprofit organizations, they're governed by a volunteer board of directors. That's a big difference. And then, of course, nonprofits, many of them, have to generate revenue,
Mm-hmm.
and typically that comes from fundraising
Yeah,
or government grants.
thank you so much. And my second question is that how about the economic impact of non-profits?
Hmm.
And I really would love to learn actually this question's answer.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nonprofit organizations, there's a misconception about nonprofits that they don't generate a profit, but no business can survive without generating a profit. Um, and so, Illinois, in our county, which is Winnebago County, there are about 539 nonprofit organizations,
Wow.
and some of them file with the IRS, some of them don't. But in 2002, in the year 2000, they generated about $4.3 million. Now, in comparison, in 2015, now there are about 1,200 nonprofit organizations, 539 file with the IRS, that generate $1.5 billion
Wow.
for the economy. So the people that work within nonprofit organizations are just like you and I. We pay taxes,
Mm-hmm.
we visit local venues, and we spend money in the community. So nonprofit organizations have a significant economic impact in our community across the globe, actually, in supporting the economy. I think another really important point that connects to that is that nonprofit organizations draw an educated workforce to the community. Think about it. In the nonprofit sector, 12% of management level staff have doctorate degrees, 47% have master's degrees, and 35% have bachelor's degrees. So in a community where you really want to build the educated workforce, nonprofits are a mechanism for drawing the educated workforce to a community.
So can we say non-profit organizations are getting good job then by day, right?
Well, nonprofit organizations provide a great are great employers.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say that they don't pay as well as the for-profit sector. In some cases, comparably, they may not.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth of it is, most people are drawn to the nonprofit sector because it provides a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a job; it provides purpose. And especially your younger workers, your Generation X and Yers, really want to have purpose in the work that they do, and nonprofits can provide that.
Thank you so much. And my other question is that how is non-profit organizations' success and performance is measured?
Yeah, nonprofit, and typically when we're talking nonprofits, we're usually talking about human service organizations, because about when you look at health and human services combined, that makes about 50% of the sector. So you're talking about health and human service organizations, and how do you measure success in a health and human service organization? Typically, it's not by measuring profit.
Yeah.
It's not by measuring how many pieces of something that you make, like in manufacturing. Nonprofits are measured by impact, and impact in terms of how do we improve the quality of life. So take an organization, let's just say like the Literacy Council, for example, that teaches people to read who have a low reading level. The way you measure success is how many reading levels were improved by working with that particular participant in your program. So changing behavior, helping the quality of life, improving the quality of life is the way success is measured.
Great. Let me ask my last question. What businesses can learn from nonprofits? What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a really fun thing to think about, because what I certainly have an affinity for nonprofit organizations because I've been in the nonprofit sector all my life. What I think that what for-profits can learn from nonprofits is frugality, the way that we carefully spend money. We're cautious about the way we spend money. What I also think they can learn from nonprofits is how you build your work around a mission and a purpose. People like purpose, as we talked about just earlier. The young employees are interested in working for a company that has a purpose, has a meaning beyond just the product. So I think what nonprofits can teach business is, one, how you can be frugal in the way you spend your money, and two, how you can find purpose for your employees.
Thank you so much, Pam Reidenbach, for your time and for your sharing your knowledge and expertise with us. It was great pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Today we talk about nonprofit organizations with Pam Reidenbach, who is the director of Northern Illinois Center for Nonprofit Excellence, and it was such a great conversation, I believe. Finally, I wanna say, education should expand the mind and free spirit. And I hope to done both this interview we have. See you next time.